Welcome back at your YouTube channel as we last shared story When Our Hearts Collides. Today we're going to share this one called Letters from the Battlefield. Subscribe, like, share, and comment to stay tuned. Whispers in the wind. The night smelled of rain and gunpowder, an uneasy mix of nature and destruction. Adrian Carter stood at the train station, his uniform pressed, his rifle strapped tightly against his back. The war had taken many things from him already, his home, his peace, but it would not take her. Not tonight. Eleanor Sinclair shivered as she stepped closer, her fingers curling around Adrian's hand. Her golden hair, tied loosely behind her, fluttered in the cold breeze. "You could run," she whispered. "We could leave together. Disappear." Adrian sighed, lifting his free hand to brush his knuckles against her cheek. "You know I can't," he murmured. "I can't turn my back on them, and I can't leave you to face this alone." A whistle blew in the distance, the sound slicing through the heavy silence between them. The train would take him to the front lines, away from her, away from everything they had dreamed of building together. "Promise me," Eleanor whispered, her voice trembling. "Promise me you'll come back." Adrian swallowed the lump in his throat. "I promise." She kissed him, her lips lingering, as if she could hold him in place with the force of her love alone. But love was never strong enough to stop a war. The train roared to life, and Adrian let go. He didn't look back as he stepped onto the platform, afraid that if he did, he might never leave. Letters from the abyss, blood, smoke, screams. The battlefield was nothing like the stories the officers told in the recruitment camps. Adrian had lost count of the days since he had last seen Eleanor. The only thing that tethered him to sanity were the letters he wrote, even though he had no way of knowing if they would reach her. "My dearest Eleanor, the war is a beast that devours everything in its path. I have seen good men fall, their last words stolen by the wind. But I hold on to you, to the thought of your voice, your touch. It is the only thing that keeps me breathing. I will come back to you. I swear it." But the letters never reached Eleanor. The enemy intercepted the mail routes, burning the messages before they ever reached the city. And as weeks turned into months, Eleanor's heart grew heavier. There was no news of Adrian, only silence. And in silence, grief festered. Captain Marcus, a fellow medic in the war hospital, watched Eleanor with quiet admiration. "You can't keep waiting for a ghost," he told her one evening as they treated wounded soldiers. "Sometimes the dead never find their way home." Eleanor clenched her jaw. Adrian isn't dead, but she had no proof, only faith. And faith, like love, could wither under enough sorrow. The ghosts of war. Adrian stumbled into the city, half dead, his uniform in tatters. He had escaped captivity, fought his way back home, only to find it changed beyond recognition. Bombed-out buildings lined the streets. The war had hollowed out his world. And then he saw her. Eleanor stood by the marketplace, her arms linked with Marcus's, a soft smile on her lips. The sight shattered Adrian more than any bullet ever could. "Eleanor," he rasped. She turned, the color draining from her face. "Adrian?" Marcus stepped in front of her protectively. "This man is a deserter," he said coldly. "Why are you here?" Adrian clenched his fists. "I came back for her." But Eleanor didn't move. The war had taken too much from her. She had spent months mourning him, convincing herself to move on. And now, here he was, a ghost of the past, returning when she had finally found a fragile sense of peace. "I thought you were dead," she whispered. Adrian's heart twisted. "So did I."